my name is Noah Fox, and welcome once again to another episode of 205 Live Matters, episode number 24, the post-Stomping Grounds edition. Tonight we'll be discussing the Cruiserweight Championship match from Stomping Grounds, and why it was one of my top three. We'll also be discussing this week's episode of 205 Live, and of course, some simple standards. But first, allow me to introduce you, of course, to my fellow 205 Live crew member. He's the holiday. He's a family man. He's a kind, good-hearted soul with a lot of knowledge to boot on wrestling. Mr. Chris Mace. Welcome back, sir. How are you?
Doing good. Been a long day at work, but it's time to talk about 205 Live.
205 Live and Cruiserweight Wrestling at its finest, and maybe some other topics that might draw heat, but who knows? Besides, this is episode 24. We'll have some stuff planned, I'm sure, for episode number 25 next week. So why don't we start off by kicking off with the Cruiserweight title match at Stomping Grounds. Now, I only have two beefs about it. 205 Live Matters. It does not belong on the fucking kickoff show. I digress. And why the hell did they play promos during this match? You want to try and bring more acknowledgement to 205 Live? Focus on the action in the ring. No one gives a damn about Lacey Evans saying these boots are made for a walk, and go walk back in the freaking military. Jeez. And I could give two shits less about Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre with Shane McMahon, obviously, in the ringside corner. Knowing this is just a long-standing feud in the Roman card, not wild card, the Roman agenda to get Roman over again. Pointless bullshit. Save it for the actual show. No one gives a damn. So that I digress. Anyway, so what were your thoughts on this Cruiserweight title match? I thought it was a very impressive 10-minute bout, and shout out to that crowd. They were very hot during this.
This was one of the best showcases I've seen them on since 205 Live has been around. I thought this match was perfectly well done. It told the great story, the right outcome. I thought what happened that me and you both said. We said we predicted Gulak would win. Okay, I think the right outcome played out. I feel bad for Tozawa, how they were building him up, because I liked Tozawa, big fan of his, but I didn't like the way how they built him up, and then this is what happened. But you got to tell that story. So, like I said, we'll get into that as the main event. But for this match, it was one of the best showcase they had. Triple threat match. They had enough time to tell the story. Tozawa taking the fall was the right decision, because then Nice has the right to say he was never beat. But like I said, we have no automatic rematch clause. That's how we set up this main event we have to talk about tonight. And the right outcome happened. Drew Gulak won. He became the new Cruiserweight champion.
I have been an advocate for Mr. Drew Gulak for a better 205 Live, but now it's just for a better Drew Gulak. I've been an advocate of Drew Gulak since episode 1. 134 weeks of constant waiting, constant just show still in action, constant character showcase development, even in its darkest times, and just also in the promotional showcases with the stars of NXT UK and NXT. I still love the match he had with Matt Riddle and Kushida. And it finally happened for this 205 Live original. I could not have been happy with the outcome. Drew Gulak finally won, but not before just so many incredible spots in this match.
Mm-hmm.
Right out of the gate, Gulak, Stoneface, what does he do? He runs in and drops kick the hell out of Tony Nese. Move up a little further, you get some offense between Nese and Akira, and then Drew Gulak comes into play. Nese with a roll through cover, suplexes Gulak into a very unique dual cover combination where both men simultaneously kicked out. Move a little further, you get a vicious forearm strike, some super kicks, and then Akira with suicide dive, tumbleweed, senton bomb, taking out both his opposition, and the crowd got rowdy at this point. This was the first time the crowd really gathered some energy. And then moving a little further beyond that, Gulak, he just eventually capitalizes, suplexing Akira into Tony Nese after wrapping up Tony Nese from the rope. Again, dodging all of Tony Nese's incredible agility and offense. But once again, proving he's a career athlete. Fuck these two promos that were on during it. I was watching the match. It was basically exchange of submission holds as Gulak rounds Tozawa. Then Tozawa tries to does a Gulak, only to get freaking just elbowed in the jaw. Then we get an octopus hold, and then the match picked up finally with sound 2 when Nese came in and threw Akira into Nese, I believe. Oh, no, I got that wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Nese throws Akira into Drew, and then Drew comes back into play, though. He turns Nese inside out with a wicked lariat. Jeez. And at this point, it's just Gulak and Tony Nese We get a Gulak, and it's like, oh, he's got to go to the ropes. No, Gulak being the image tradition as he gets his arm away from the ropes. But you notice Gulak is looking up a little bit. Why? Because out of nowhere, and I'm surprised neither man have broken ribs after this, Akira Tozawa with his top rope senton bomb breaks that up in a hurry. Ouch.
And I love the commentary on that. I love the commentary on that when he did that. Tozawa just saved his chances, and Tony Nese is champion for another moment or so. Save this title.
Yep. And then we get all our great spots from Akira Tozawa with the deadlift, face plants, to the running kicks, and then Tony Nese moves on the legs, though. So I feel like it didn't have as much impact. So I feel like that code was pretty easy for Akira Tozawa to break up. I don't think he even had to break up. I think Gulak would have still kicked out. Anyway, of course, we get one of my favorite moves by Akira Tozawa, the fake out jab. And then Gulak suplexes Tozawa, and then Tony Nese with a 450 crash. And then Nese packages Drew Gulak, only for Akira to break it up and follow with a Shining Wizard. There was like cover after cover to cover in here. Another hot spot for the crowd, and all three of these men leave it all in the ring. Crowd applause, stand up. I hear 205 Live chants playing in the background. Shout out to you guys in Tacoma, Washington. And then Ryan Nese with the exposed knee. Nope, denied. Akira with a roll-up after Drew Gulak just lounged in the corner. And then we get Nese bringing his power with one-arm buckle bomb. Very impressive. Into another cover. Drew Gulak trying to break it up. Didn't break it up in time. He wouldn't have made it in time, but Akira, with that Bushido Fine Spirit, he breaks out of it. Nese suplex and forearm strikes. Akira takes out Nese. Then we get Torture Rat neck break in the end. And Tony Nese instead pins Akira Tozawa after Akira inadvertently takes out Tony Nese from the apron with a flying kick. And Gulak finally reaches the summit and finally freaking wins. Yes. Love this match. Love the story. Love the action. Love the hot spots. Love the in-ring chemistry all three of these men brought. And to think at first you thought it was just going to be Akira Tozawa versus Tony Nese, or Drew Gulak versus Tony Nese again, which would be like the fourth time. No. This triple threat match was an incredible showcase of what 205 Live is all about and why 205 Live matters. And that match should have not been on the freaking kickoff show. I'm going to probably raise ire, but you know what match I think should have been on the kickoff show? One of two, and I'm sorry, both of them sucked in my opinion. Becky Lynch versus Lacey Evans was messy and sloppy. Lacey is too green, but I appreciate her character. Nobody believes Alexa Bliss is going to beat Bayley because it's Raw versus SmackDown Live. And Alexa Bliss just can't go it seems as she used to. I think she still is taking it rather gingerly in the ring. And don't get me started on what's coming up at Extreme Rules. And the Baron Corbin, Seth Rollins, what the fuck was that? Anyway, going off Stomping Grounds too much, blah, blah, blah. Stomping Grounds was kind of an okay show, be mine. Love this match, though. And, of course, this leads us into the episode. Episode number 135, emanating from Portland, Oregon of 205 Live, where they recap this entire thing. And instead of Drake Maverick opening us up, it's the champ himself, Drew Gulak, in just a pure black room. Better than the room they put Aleister Black in, that's for sure. Anyway, Gulak says the time for community is over, and the pillars of this brand are weak and are finally gone. I stopped focusing on a better 205 Live and focused on a better Drew Gulak. Because this place doesn't deserve my generosity. It deserves my rap. And you saw my rap showcase at Stomping Grounds. And now for it, you call me champion. And then, of course, he discloses the main event and says, so let Tony Nese and let Akira Tozawa fight. I'm like, well, that didn't take long. And may the better man win. Because whoever it is, I will put them down for good at Extreme Rules. So just like that, just no hesitation, no time at all, no qualifiers, no multi-person. Just, okay, we're going to put Akira Tozawa and Tony Nese in the main event again. Excellent opener, but a rather rash, quick decision, don't you think?
I don't know. I'm torn on that one. Yeah, normally they build storyline for the next champion, next contender. The thing with me is, like, I kind of liked it because Tony Nese has a valid point. He didn't beat him. He didn't lose the title. He wasn't the one that was pinned. So He has a beef with that. I think Tozawa has every right to be upset with everything. So you put you top 2 contenders right now instead of giving Tony Nese an automatic rematch. We did away with automatic rematches. You put the top 2 contenders, which I would have said Tozawa with his performance there at Stomping Ground and Tony Nese being the former champion. That's the best way to solve a number 1 contender, especially since you have Extreme Rules so close together. From Stomping Ground, I think you needed to do it this way. You didn't really have time and storyline to build up a new contender, so that was the best way. I think that was the best answer they had to that problem right then.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, shout out to Tony Nese and the ring gear he wore also at Stomping Grounds. I don't know why they call it purple and gold. I'm pretty sure it's purple and orange unless I'm colorblind. Did they bring back the internet dress meme again? Oh Lord. Is it black and blue? Is it white and gold? Don't go back there. Anyway.
Nope.
Yeah, and he said all about 205. These guys truly are about 205 Live. Mad respect. And I love Drew Gulak's new Titantron. Simple, dark, just him. A different Drew Gulak. And apparently a better one as he's now champ. But anyway.
I love this evolution of Drew Gulak.
Yeah, truly. And long overdue.
It has been it's the evolution. Like I remember they did the evolution of Randy Orton. Let's do a DVD just on the evolution of Drew Gulak from 205 episode 1 to now. It's completely 360 degrees difference.
I want to see a 365.
Easily.
I want to see a 365 special or 24 special strictly on Drew Gulak. The WWE Performance Center gave me a short video about his current trip home, and I just wanted more. Drew Gulak, still one of my favorite all-around wrestlers today. And I'm not just talking about WWE either. If people don't know anything about Drew Gulak, just do Drew Gulak versus blank. He's been in the ring with both men and women in 20-minute bouts. He respects competition. He respects and recognizes game, and he's all about bringing you the best action possible because he never feels old. He just feels like he gets better with every loss or victory. And this proves it right here. Drew Gulak for a better wrestling, period. Simple as that. So why don't you go ahead and talk about our opening contest, which, of course, was brought up from a little backstage interview last week. Jack Gallagher versus Mike Kanellis.
Oh, Lord, I love this match. I actually love this match. I thought it was really well done. I love all the action they were doing. I love the finish because the finish was just really cleverly done. And I'm going to do a callback to what I saw on NXT UK real quick with Ono and the gentleman, how the gentleman used his headbutt, but he fell back. And Ono was able somehow to turn to an offensive move. This time, it got played the opposite. He was able to use the headbutt, get Kanellis down, get that 1, 2, 3. This was the right decision. The gentleman cannot keep losing. As talented as he is, he cannot keep losing every match. He needs to get some credible wins here and there, too. He cannot just keep losing every match. I thought this was a great win. The aftermatch of what happened, Kanellis snapping, I'm done, I'm tired. That was a storyline. You told her you had a great story with the match. I think the right ending was well done. And the aftermatch was also well done with Kanellis walking through the crowd. I'm done, I'm tired. You tell him I'm tired, and just snapping and just walking through the crowd with Maria looking on, not knowing what to do exactly. Well done.
Yeah, she looked flabbergasted. You're right. He didn't go through like the backstage area or the other side of the staging area. He went up through the crowd. He literally left out of the building. I was like, oh, this is interesting. And Maria, she just looked flabbergasted. She was confused, unsure what to do, and unsure what to think. So it's going to be very curious how they follow up with it. Of course, we'll get more of that later between the Twitter beef and Drake Maverick. But yeah, I thought this was a really fun match. I mean, Gallagher, I think one of the fun spots really picked up when he was in a extended submission, and somehow Jack Gallagher flexed his body into a unicycle kick, basically, just constantly hitting his chin. And then there was a bit of shenanigans of the old Jack Gallagher here with the trip up into a cover and then the headstand, like, hey, stay away. But then he props up this drop kick. And it isn't until later they get out of the ring where Maria comes into play, prevents him from being pushed to the ring post, and Mike capitalizes, pushes him into the ring post. He basically gained control for the rest of the match here, showing aggressive offense, and there was a wicked clothesline. Again, Mike Kanellis, one of the hardest hitters on 205 Live with a wicked lariat. Gallagher, though, he gains advantage. He goes for a tower maneuver, eats feet, chaw first, and then we get a power slam into a kick out. Surprised he didn't go for that corkscrew neckbreaker he used to beat D. Brian Kendrick, I believe. In exchange for a while, Gallagher eats a super kick. There's a cover. But grab the tights. Ref saw it, and this led to Mike's downfall. He argued so much with the ref instead of his opponent. Jack Gallagher, he gained offensive by doing what? A headbutt, and literally falls into the cover, not gripping any limb, and finally picks up a win, 1-2-3. At this point, Jack Gallagher should just go back to his old theme. He doesn't necessarily need William III, but I feel like the current type darker heel theme, I think it's over now. I think it's safe to say he's more of a face. And you're right, he needed this win. And again, Mike says he's done. It was a mistake. And he leaves for the crowd. I wonder what he meant was a mistake. Re-signing with WWE, continuing on 205 Live. And the other side story, as you said here, that also developed towards this, or basically carried this forward, is commentary talked about Drake being the GM of 205 Live, and how Drake said since he lost 20% title, I have nothing, which really incited Nigel McGuinness talking about, okay, you have nothing. Yeah, here you are, the general manager of 205 Live. I gotta agree with Nigel here. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So that was very interesting. So yeah, interesting opening, and another story being built as we further look into Drake Maverick as GM and Mike Kanellis and his stance in 205 Live. Where is it going to go from here? No idea. But you know Maria, the woman that's always shout out to you, Cindy G, of course, one of your favorites. Oh, by the way, sorry about bad-mouthing your lady, Lacey Evans. She's not that great of a wrestler. She's too green. Anyway, I know she's probably sipping a cup of tea on that. Well, if I didn't try and spark controversy, I wouldn't be a person that can analyze wrestling. Now would I? Anyway, well, on this, we get some short 2 promos with a just defeated Tony Nese. He says he was not beaten, like you said, to his credit. He was not the guy to eat the fall. Akira was. And he won't let someone determine his future. Tonight, he takes control, and he finally gets the one-on-one he wanted with a man he truly respects, Akira Tozawa. Because again, this was the original idea. If Drew Gulak never came back to 205 Live at this time, I think we would have had Akira Tozawa versus Tony Nese. Now, we would have had the same result that we're going to get into, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit. And then Akira, the crowd, come on, what? Are you kidding me? That's a little annoying, but I understand. Japanese is a little hard to understand. I understood him clearly. And then, of course, I like the shirt Akira Tozawa was wearing. Ricochet. Foreshadowing the future, possible dream match, no idea. Anyway, Akira, he said, I was this close to victory, and I let victory slip out of my grasp. I won't let it slip tonight. Those smiles, both men with a pure look of aggression. I truly appreciate this. I feel like Drew Gulak has already changed in the outlook of 205 Live, because you remember at one point Tony Nese was all about himself, the Avs, premier athlete. Now he's just about getting the title back and proving why 205 is the best. Akira Tozawa, he used to say, you're fired. Now he's just on this one goal of becoming Cruiserweight champion again. I enjoyed both of these promos. Any thoughts?
He showed that he has the heart of a champion. That's basically, he didn't make any excuses. He pretty much stated facts. I wasn't beat. I'm not going to let this control my destiny. This is not going to control me. He has the heart of a champion. Loved it. I loved Tozawa's promo. Pretty much, he's pretty much a straightforward. He's like, he's going to not take this opportunity lightly. They both are dead serious. That's what I love. When you set up a match of this caliber, that's for a number 1 contendership for that title, you need to be dead serious. There was no ha-ha, laughy, joke around, tell funny toilet humor, nothing like that.
Oh, Lord.
Straight seriousness to the point, got me ready for the main event.
As always, as 205 Live usually brings you a great main event. And again, like you said, Nese, he says excuses are not me. He accepts that he lost. But again, he wasn't the guy to take the fall. Such is the circumstance of a triple threat match. You lose, but you're not pinned. That gives you something to build off on.
Exactly.
All right. So following from there, wow, this is interesting. What did you think of Drake Maverick's voicemail to Mike Kanellis? And is it me, or did Drake Maverick look like a mess?
He looked like a hot mess, like I said. But if it's building to a storyline where they've had enough and it's time for a change, and like I told you before, the only time I want to see Triple H on 205 Live is if he comes out and says, look now, You're more obsessed with that 24/7 title. You're more obsessed with this. You said you had nothing. You've already got on TV and said you have nothing. Well, you're not going to have anything, and then makes Maria the 205 Live general manager. That's fine, because I think that's what this storyline's setting up to. Either a match between him and Mike Kanellis for Maria become GM, or Triple H to make a one-time appearance and pretty much take everything away from him now. As long as it's building up that storyline at this point, I'm fine with it. But let's not progress the story so far out till next year. Let's just keep it going and keep it moving forward and make it, have a good ending to it.
I feel like this is really going to pick up around SummerSlam, considering what match they're going to set up then based on the state of 205 Live. This has to reach an apex shorter than later. And with SummerSlam being one of your big four, you definitely want to make a big, big statement for your brand 205 Live on one of WWE's big four. Why not SummerSlam? I mean, I can't imagine this going all the way up to Survivor Series that I theoretically fantasized and booked. And I believe our last show, 205 Live, I feel like it's really going to pick up before SummerSlam. I wouldn't be surprised if this really kicks into high gear after Extreme Rules. But I digress. Interesting voicemail. He simply says, you're completely unacceptable and unprofessional. So we'll see what happens. Does he return next week? Does Maria get in Drake's face and teases Mike return? Do they tease something else in the works? Find out. Following this, we get a little showcase match for somebody else on 205 Live. Humberto Carrillo versus Rob Rollenbeck. Not much here. He got all his high spots in there. Rope through spinning kick, spinal kick, handstand springboard back elbow, the springboard super deep arm drag. He had slap with missile drop kick. And then at one point, I believe he did like a springboard headbutt. That was kind of interesting. But then he showed me a little bit of innovation with his finisher, this time being a twisting splash. I thought this was a nice little showcase, once again, what Humberto Carrillo can do, only to be contributed by the fact commentary puts over someone else who Bertha knows very well, Angel Garza. And they also highlight, of course, the breakout tournament, Angel Garza being in it. So once again, I thought Humberto Carrillo, very impressive as always. I feel like he should be definitely considered 205 Live title contention at this point.
I like it. It's the slow burn theory. I love it when you do it. If you building a star up, like I said, I think we discussed before, he lost his first match. If I remember correctly, and I could be wrong, I know he's lost once. He lost his first match.
Correct. He lost the champ.
And then ever since then, he's been on a roll. He's been doing it. They've been building him up. They haven't rushed him. They haven't immediately put him in the title picture. They've been slow burning him and making you anticipate it and making you anticipate it and making you wait. So when that moment does happen one day, you have watched this man go from the very beginning, building him up into a champion. That's the best way to do it. If you have somebody that's new to your company, new to 205 Live, and you have faith and credibility in them, you slowly build them up. They're doing an excellent job with him right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's being showcased like a star. And, of course, in English, you can't get enough of Humberto Carrillo. But apparently, Nigel McGuinness, he can't get enough of Angel Garza. Honestly, I want to see those two face each other one-on-one. I think Angel Garza will make tremendous impact on 205 Live. And if you don't believe me, go watch the General and the Wizards review of What's NXT, where Angel Garza has his debut match in the NXT Breakout Tourney against the former DJZ, Walking Wild, I believe his name is. That was a hell of an opener. Man.
Yes.
Anyway, so following that, we get a recap of last week's main event and the post-angle beatdown. I freaking love Oney Lorcan on Twitter. So simple, and yet a kind heart. But what else can you say from this segment? You know, it's funny. Dolph Ziggler has been saying every week, it should have been me. 5 words. Oney Lorcan, he has already engaged me and entertained me in one segment, repeating the same phrase over and over and over again. How does it feel? With just one chair shot, he makes the statement, I'm not done with you. I want more of you. You're going to feel my fury. How does it feel? Huh? How does it feel? And apparently he scares the damn out of Sheriff Schreiber, but then on Twitter he's like, oh, I'm sorry for that. But yeah, bottom line here, Sheriff Schreiber interviews our advice. He said what drove him to do this. He talks about his fashion being expensive, but it's finally being simple. Hey, I'm the silly man here. Shut up. Anyway, and he talks about how he got 6 stitches, but also he was cost the opportunity by Oney Lorcan. And he says that he's tougher and smarter than Oney Lorcan. Dang! chair shot, one chair shot, beat down, every punch. All he's saying is, how does it feel? How does it feel? How does it feel? I'm like, Jesus. If Drake Maverick does not book those two in a chairs match, this is a wasted opportunity. And not only a great closer to these two's feud, but possibly another cruiserweight wrestling-based match, solo on cruiserweights on the main card of Extreme Rules. Because, hey, you haven't done anything Extreme yet, WWE? What's Extreme Rules now? Is that just a name? I remember the concept, idiots. But I digress. I thought this was extremely engaging, and I hope that Drake Maverick makes the match official. Or maybe like a street fight or something. What are your thoughts?
It's got to be a chairs match at this point. You've already set the storyline and telling the story how the chairs have been coming into a factor in these previous weeks. You got Extreme Rules coming up. Just book the damn match as a chairs match and let these two beat the shit out of each other at this point, because it's not going to be a wrestling match. They're going to beat the shit out of each other with that chair. Let's have a conclusion to this. You want to book something, book it at Extreme Rules and make it actually mean something and put them in a chairs match. That's how you do that. Simple as that, as you would say.
Absolutely. The writing is there itself. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see this. And I know what you're thinking, some folks that are mainstream WWE is. This isn't TLC. This isn't tabilizing chairs. Guess what? It's Extreme Rules. Let me run down the match card for you. Becky and Seth versus Lacey and Corbin in a match. Woohoo. Samoa Joe versus Kofi Kingston in a match. Woohoo. Alexa Bliss versus Bayley in a match. Hey, I know. Let's just do candlestick on a pole match again. That worked out so well last time, right? Bullshit.
Oh, I thought we all loved that match. No, we didn't.
It buried Bayley. 2017 was a dark omen for Bayley. And if it happens again, I am done watching Raw and SmackDown Live for Women's Wrestling, because it's a joke. And you officially turned it into a joke, and you officially declare to me the brand split's dead. Because you haven't yet, but that's what you're obviously going for. And now you're going back to the past? Oh, yeah, right. They're going to make a huge impact, even though Vince is the know-all-say-all people. Wake up! Same shit, new era my ass. But I digress. Anyway, following that, we go into Lucha House Party. They talk about how we finally are going to get our tornado tag match against the Singh Brothers next week. And I'm looking forward to this because this is where the Lucha House Party shrines. If you remember, Mike Kanellis and TJP, they had an incredible tornado tag with the Lucha Brothers that ended in multiple power pinatas. That was the humor. But when you put the Lucha House Party in their staple, and it's just, all around tag team action with no limits, you got a really great match. That's when they're at their highest. I predict they're going to win next week, personally.
I'm going to go against you on that. I think the Singh Brothers need it more.
Really?
I think the Singh Brothers need it more. I think Lucha House Party's established. I think if the Singh brother wants to eventually get that stench of being with Jinder Mahal for so long and all that BS, they need this win. They need to end this feud and they need to win. I think Lucha House Party needs to go ahead and separate so they can go back to being more singles competitors. I think you can get a lot more matches. Or they can stay together and just do more singles matches. I think you can get a lot more mileage out of them as single competitors than you can as a tag team right now.
Yeah, they used to do single matches. I wonder where that went. You do bring a compelling point, but hey, we're on stands now. We're opposite. We'll see who's right next week. Anyway, so following that, we go into the main event. The one-on-one match you thought you were going to get for the title, but you didn't because Drew Gulak came into play, and yet Drew Gulak made this match happen, I feel like, in a different manner than what it probably would have been originally, because this was intense. Tony Nese versus Akira Tozawa. The one thing you have to remember from this, Tony Nese's entrance, no abs, head down, head up, I take back control. Boy, did both these men have their futures in the canvas tonight. What a match. What are your thoughts, Chris? And your moment.
This has to be either my number one or number two match of the year. I'm still torn between the other previous match I've said, which was Kanellis versus Tozawa in that street fight. I'm still torn between which one I think is my favorite so far this year. This match was incredible from start to finish. It told the most amazing of story of two men scrapping and clawing and fighting for that one thing, that one opportunity they need for that title. And that's what we're missing in wrestling right now with a lot of these shows I've seen. That intensity, that will, that storytelling. You want to see great storytelling and a purpose and a reason for them to be killing themselves and doing everything and putting all the stops on the line for 20-something minutes? Watch this match. Best storytelling. The finish was the best thing I loved because it wasn't with either of their finishers how they finished that match. That finish came out of nowhere, and it made sense, and it was incredible to me.
Enough said. I mean, where do you begin here? Combination offense showed off by both men. Suicide dive changed to the tumbleweed senton. Once again, showing Akira Tozawa's awareness, how well he knows his opposition, but how quick he can change on the fly. He yelled Tony, I think, 3 times throughout this match. There was rope pele kick, Nice works the lower back with the scissors lock and a waist lock. Big kick, and then deadlift slam into another kick. He yells, Tony! Suicide dive that sends Nice over the announce table in Vic's words, almost to our left. Missile drop kick, one of Akira Tozawa's staples. Iron octopus into a side. This was the most scary spot to me, though. That side slam high on the shoulders. He could have collapsed Akira Tozawa's neck. That looked ugly.
Yes.
And you could tell it affected Nigel McGuinness because he knows this is one of those things that led to his retirement. So, how indeed? I think at one point even they discussed when Lionheart, rest in peace, he wanted the Styles Clash banned because it risked his health as well. So, again, you got to watch that. But Akira Tozawa, kudos to him, man. And then we get an exchange of forearms and kicks. There's a springboard moonsault into the Frostberry Fly, which is just unwillingly throwing your body over the top rope. Springboard moonsault on the torso. Keyword here, torso. The ribs, particularly, on Akira Tozawa. And it showed the rest of this match. Akira Tozawa, you saw him heavy grieving. You saw him gripping his ribs. Chop exchange into one of my favorite spots. Akira Tozawa's favorite move, in my opinion. The fake out jab. I love that. Drops Tony, buckles his knees. Another exchange. Senton bomb attempt, only to meet an open palm strike. We get a destroyer out of nowhere as both men are jogging for suplexes. The surprise of these two brothers, that destroyer was insane. I didn't know if they could do that. That was beautiful. Then we get senton bomb only for Akira Tozawa to just crash on his back. Again, he needs different moves. That destroyer was one thing, okay? I think you should rely more on that because that senton bomb is great when it hits, but there's so much building. If you miss it, there's nothing between you and your spine but canvas. Ow. Again. Crucifix cover into a buckle bomb and then rope break, though, showing Akira Tozawa's awareness and the toll the match took on him. He didn't use any strength. He used his in-ring ingenuity. Get that foot barely on the bottom rope, enough to continue the match. Running knee suplex into a bridge. Akira Tozawa with one of the best suplexes in the bridge I've seen since the Cruiserweight Classic. Super kick into running knees. Kicks exchange because he missed the running knees, exposed knee strike. And then, like you said, Akira Tozawa, he goes for the spin around, iron octopus again, center of the ring, only for Nice to literally plant him and sit on him for a 1, 2, 3, and both men mutually share respect. So here we are again with a new Drew Gulak versus a more aggressive, hungry Tony Nice. Because he's no longer the champ. He's now on the drive and on the chase. While Gulak's completely reinvented himself 100 and 360 degrees, and now he's the champ. And heads up, folks, Extreme Rules takes place in Drew Gulak's hometown. I cannot wait for this match, and it better not be on the kickoff show. This is going to be Tony Nese and Drew Gulak's best match to date. And these men have faced each other, I think, on at least 3 occasions now. It's certain storytelling like this that makes a match between two of the same men you've seen worth waiting on and worth seeing again. Look how many times they did with Kenny Omega and Okada. And that ended in a 60-minute bout. Now, obviously, WWE is too dumb and not enough TV time or care to do that. But I do expect this match to go the distance and bring something different from both men. Because now Drew Gulak, Tony Nese is facing Gulak for the title. Whole different scenario, brand new Gulak, much more intense Tony Nese. We'll see what happens. I thought this was a very, very good episode because not only did you build already your title match for Extreme Rules, so now you can go off that, promote both guys, hype both guys, maybe do like a little backstage somewhere both guys meet face-to-face intensely. But you're also looking at the GM position of 205 Live, and then you also have a bit of indecision with the commentary discussing the direction of 205 Live. There's storytelling, there's incredible action, There's matches being made. We already got one great match made for the next show. I see the chairs match happening probably the show after that, if not now. I enjoyed this show very much. This is definitely a 4.25 for me. What about you?
Okay, Raw and SmackDown. Hey, why don't you watch this episode and see how to do everything well done? That's all I'm gonna tell y'all.
No shame, McMahon.
This was well done from start to finish. Has to be my favorite episode of 205 Live, so I'm giving it a 5, and I'm giving it an extra quarter because I thought it was perfectly well done. It's probably my favorite episode I've watched so far.
Man,
so I'm giving it a 5.25. There's a storytelling, how everything is playing out, everything is continuing a story, continuing emotion. Everything was done well done. The gentleman needed a win. He got the win. Kanellis needed to continue a story. He snapped. He needed to do it. Continue that story. Drake Maverick continuing his downward slide, continuing to tell a story. Good. Got a showcase from Herberto that I didn't call Alberto this time, so we're good. He got a showcase, the slow build, the slow burn with him. Excellent job. The main event is by far either my number 1 or number 2. I don't know quite yet. I haven't finally decided on that yet. But that was an incredible match. And you also the storytelling between Lorcan and Daivari, setting it up for a possible chairs match at Extreme Rules or next week or whenever. Best show I've seen on 205 Live so far. That's just my opinion. I know it's different from everybody else's, but it's my opinion, so I'm giving it a 5. I'm giving it the extra quarter, so I'm giving it 5.25.
I completely respect your opinion. Again, it's hard for me to ever give an episode a 5 because I've seen all the episodes since episode 1. So I'm really being constructive with my judgment here. But you're absolutely right. A near perfect episode, in my opinion, because I feel like the only person you were missing from this show was probably, I don't know. I mean, I think they really did use their entire roster this episode. Oh, no. D. Brian Kendrick. He was mentioned, but he wasn't on the show. I think that was probably the only talent they didn't use on this show, which is kudos and credit to them and their limited roster, really using the full length of it. I hope to see more Chad Gable, and I really do hope to see more faces on 205 Live, because this brand deserves it. It really does bring you a compelling action. This was my best thing on my Monday and Tuesday night, besides the cute chats that are always hilarious. But, I mean, this is why I survived SmackDown Live. Well, I'm not going to lie. I watched Casino Royale during it, too. But this is why I survived during SmackDown Live. 205 Live is really the real starting point of my week, besides being the elite. But I digress. Mm-hmm. Great episode, and I can't wait for next week where we know we got at least that Trinidad tag. And who knows? Maybe we will get Kyoto's Arya Daivari versus Only Lorcan in some sort of match. And it'll be interesting to see where Akira Tozawa goes from here because, all right, bro, you're back at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
All right. With that, why don't we go into some simple stances? So I want to start off first with the General. Shout out to you, General Jerry Slaughter. He suggested the following topic. Now, clearly he either watches Ring of Honor or he watches New Japan for Wrestling or he just remembers Lucha Underground. He proposed Trios Invitational Tournament. Basically what he means by that is you introduce a 6-man tag type titles in 205 Live. Now, I get it. The only 3-person faction really right now in 205 Live, literally, is Lucha House Party. But he said, okay, you open up this. This is an invitational. You bring in other factions for NXT, NXTUK. So you mix it up a little bit. Now, looking at the 205 Live roster, you got the Singh brothers. Maybe they could team up with Mansoor. I don't know. And then you got these other factions being formed in NXT UK that are way over the weight limit. But maybe it could be dissolved into like some never open weight type dealing. So I feel like there's a lot of optimism to this, but I'm not really sure. What are your thoughts on like a trios type roster / invitational, or even a trios tournament network special related to 205 Live?
It's an interesting concept. I actually find it intriguing and interesting. Now, the concerns I have would it be the only true 6-man or 3-man tag team to have is the Lucha House Party. But however, I would do it with a twist. I would do it back what they did. I'm going to steal an idea from the main roster when actually halfway good. In 95 Survivor Series, you had that wild card thing where they put heels and faces all together. You want to make it interesting? Let's just do a wild card concept. Put 3 people together in different matches. Hell, we might even get an option where you split the Lucha House Party up and you put like Grand Metalik with the Brian Kendrick and Tozawa in a 6-man. You are in a three-person team.
Yeah,
You don't know. But do a wild card aspect to it, which could maybe possibly help build some teams up. You have some notoriety. You have some different options. You can build some teams, see what chemistry works between some people, and you might be able to build it up slowly like that. That would be the only that would be the only way I would personally see how it could work, with only being Lucha House Party is the only three-man team.
Yeah, and that was the thing, too, because I was like, okay, the only way you can really do this with your current roster and maybe some NXT and NXTUK guys, straight bet, though, because you don't have three people on the same page. But then I look at comments, for example, on the 205 Live videos, because I always watch them. I appreciate them, I fun about them, and I give my thoughts, my passion in 205 Live. Dekai Everett said that, hey, maybe they should bring in more people on 205 Live from NXT UK, like Joseph Connors, Mark Andrews, Ligero, Tyler Bates, and Jordan Devlin. There right there is 5 big names that could definitely make a major impact, I feel, on 205 Live. I've said it before. I feel like, for example, Mark Andrews, Ligero, long-term, they can go and make major impact 205 Live. You are a major advocate of Jordan Devlin, who I know is going to go after at one point the NXT UK Championship against Walter. I feel like he can make major strides in 205 Live as well. If there's more encompass of 205 Live with NXT and NXT UK, I truly feel like you have something special there and can definitely build Strange Bethel into a trios-type tournament roster dealie. Because that's what Lucha Underground did all the time with Daria Cueto. He put together, for example, the Mac and the 2 guys that went through a War of Hell match, and they won the titles. And I thought both those guys were dead. So yeah.
I miss Lucha Underground.
I do too. I want to see what happens next. The Stu Bennett, come on now. Give me it. Anyway. Okay. So I want to go into this next topic, but I think I'll save it for now. So what's on your mind tonight for Simple Stances?
Well, me and my oldest daughter, who's been watching 205 Live now, has been getting into cruiserweight wrestling. We had a debate about this, so I'm going to bring this conversation for you, and I'm going to bring it up to everybody who watched the video. So say if after the Cruiserweight Classic had ended and TJS, who won the championship.
TJP, actually.
Yeah, well, he's changed his name now, so I'm not worried about it. He's a different name now. But the point is, say if he became champion, but they didn't do a 205 Live show, and they moved him to NXT, how do you think it would be effective now? Do you think it would have been more successful with him being in NXT if they never did 205 Live? Or do you think it was well done how they've done it right now?
That would change the entire ecosystem of NXT as we would know it today, because I feel like you would still have some sort of mid-range title, and instead of maybe the North American Championship, you would probably have the Cruiserweight title. That's a loaded question. I feel like if 205 Live wasn't what came out from this, and these guys just were evolving NXT, a lot of the angles and actions and matches we see in NXT probably wouldn't have happened. Example, in the very opener, you had TJP in NXT. I think during that time, the champ was either Neville or Sami Zayn. I have to look back, man. That's wild.
I think it was Sami Zayn.
So I could see Sami Zayn and TJP maybe mix it up in a very unique match, probably more mat-based, for example. And then you probably would do title for title, I would imagine. Because if the Cruiserweight title becomes a thing solidified in NXT, I can see that being abolished and merged in the NXT title. So to answer your question, if 205 Live didn't happen and these guys were NXT today, I think I would actually see less of them in NXT than I would do now in 205 Live. So I feel like it truly would change NXT as we know it. And honestly, probably would have never had Bobby Roode as champion.
I'm gonna counter that argument. I'm gonna suggest why I think if they had never did 205 Live, how I think it would have worked. You could have had him as champion. You didn't have the North American title yet.
Correct.
You could have kept it up. You could have kept it going. You would have had a mid-card title at the time. You could have had some interesting matches. I think they would have changed the weight limit a little bit, put it back to more of a 225 weight limit. I think they would have done that. Right. I think it would have opened up the doors some of the other 205 Live stars to get opportunities at the NXT tag team titles. I think it would have opened up a lot more opportunities and different matchups that we never seen. However, I think what ended up happening, this is what I told my oldest, I think what ended up happening is now we have NXT UK. Well, let's think about it. We come up with the North American title for NXT.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't really need 3 singles titles. So what does NXT UK have? It has 1 main title. Why not bring the Cruiserweight title to NXT UK? You could still have a split roster. You could have some of the Cruiserweights, whether they had formed a team, for example. Well, trying to make, like, all right, Kira Kazawa and Brian Kendrick. They could have maybe formed a great tag team, and become tag team champions in NXT given the opportunity. There's a lot of different scenarios. It's a big what if, and there's a lot of good and there's a lot of bad with it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a loaded question, but there was a lot of interesting concepts that could have come out of it. The Cruiserweight title could have ended up being on NXT UK right now, and there's your secondary title right now. But if that was the option, would I have preferred that to happen, or what we get now? I'd rather have 205 Live, honestly.
Yeah.
I'd rather have played out like this because they have a better idea to showcase themselves. I think they would have had opportunities to showcase themselves in NXT, but not as much.
Right, because the thing is, 205 Live, they're literally using their roster for everybody they have, and NXT is much more deep and diverse to the point we don't even know everybody that's in the Performance Center, and this Breakout Tournament has finally given us 8 names, some that are way overdue based on when they were signed, finally showcased on television. There's no telling any of the 205 Live guys would have been showcased. The only real biggest thing I could see coming out of this, if this was happening in NXT, is Kota Ibushi, because Kota Ibushi originally, they wanted to sign him to WWE. I feel like if they signed him to WWE, I don't think you would have had 205 Live. I think you would have had literally the cruiserweights on NXT, led by Kota Ibushi, one of the best wrestlers in the world. His matches in NXT are still astonishing to me, and probably one of my best matches he ever had was with Buddy Murphy, of all people.
Yes.
Before Buddy Murphy went into that major change about, I'm the best kept secret of 205 Live, and now he's in obscurity on the main roster. So, yeah, it's a loaded question because you consider what would have came out of it. Would TJP still have been champ? Would Kota Ibushi actually stayed on with the WWE, maybe former tag team with Killer Tozawa? Would he maybe went on to become maybe NXT champion himself and beat the Sami Zayn for it? It's really interesting to think how the 205 Live guys, if 205 Live didn't come to fruition, would shape NXT today. But I also feel like a lot of them that we see on 205 Live right now would have been lost in the shuffle immediately. So, great question. Very great thought, I thought. All right, speaking of which, let's talk about, I know we talk about it a lot, but I just feel like it's something that constantly gets brought up. And shout out to you, Colin, Andrew, and, of course, TJS. We talk about rebranding. We talk about the refocus of 205 Live. Dropping Live and bringing it into the Full Sail ecosystem, where it would be better respected, better portrayed, better interpreted, and potentially you get the Cruiserweights and the Cruiserweight title on a takeover. Now, I keep thinking about this. It's 205 Live because you're seeing it live. The thing about NXT is they're all pre-recorded. But, truth be told, there are no commercials either. So I really wonder what would be the different take on this. And if you just drop the live and call it 205, welcome to 205. It played with my tongue for a while, but I could definitely probably see it as a thing that could work, actually. And honestly, maybe that's what it would take to lead 205 actually being on a takeover. So what are your thoughts on rebranding 205 Live as 205 and strictly taping it from Full Sail?
That's another loaded question, too. Boy, we got some loaded simple stances tonight. I'm torn with that because, yes, I love 205 Live. I'm one of the biggest advocates of Cruiserweight Wrestling.
Appreciate you.
If we are going to do something like that, if you're trying to rebrand them, you need to, the proper way I would rebrand something is make it go away for a little bit. Make it go away for a couple months. You want people, because you know what, this is something like heart grows fonder when you miss something for a while.
That's true.
You want to rebrand it like that, come back. Just like I said, don't call it 205. Don't call it 205. You need to call it something different. If you want to rebrand it, you can keep all the same wrestlers, but you can keep the Cruiserweight title, or even that. If you're going to do a rebrand, change the Cruiserweight title. Let's go back to something old school, like how the WCW Cruiserweight title was designed. Let's go old school with it, or come up with a new creation that's different. Come up with something completely new, and just have the same wrestlers. different way how you set up like the whole 9 yards. You want to completely rebrand it, you need to completely rebrand it. To me, you would need to get rid of the 205 name and rebrand it, and then go ahead and do it at Full Sail, because I agree with Full Sail idea. I pitched that idea. I as well. I love that idea of doing it at Full Sail, getting in front of crowds that actually would appreciate the showcases that they perform.
Yeah,
I think would be a great idea, because then you can incorporate a cruiserweight title match into an NXT takeover, and it'd make more sense at that point.
Yeah, I still feel like at this point, that's the only thing the cruiserweights are missing to elevate themselves. Put your cruiserweight title match in a takeover, because it'll not only go longer than your pre-show matches, and even when one's the Blue Moon, they put you on the main card, but it would be hugely more well-respected and probably could be a show steal of the night. Now, am I saying that a cruiserweight title match is up there yet with a match like Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole? No. I'm not tuning my horn that loud. But with the right two people and the right story, anything is possible. And that's the thing about cruiserweight. They're not defined simply by their weight, or they do flips, or they just do this. They're defined by the fact they believe that they are men without limits. And the biggest example of that is the person we'll get into next week, Will Ospreay. But with that, it's a good way to end the show tonight. So,
and one more thing on that subject before we close out. Yeah. They have an opportunity right now to do it if they pull the trigger with Gulak versus Kushida. They have the opportunity, like we talked about before. Kushida beat him twice. Gulak's a champion now. You already got a named challenger right there. He's beat him twice. Put it on TakeOver. Give him the third match. Put it at Tokyo. Take blah blah blah. I don't know why I was thinking about Tokyo, because we got to do another prediction thing later. But like I said, put it at TakeOver. Give them 20 minutes and let them just tear the house down. You have the opportunity to do it right now.
If Kushida versus Drew Gulak happens at a TakeOver, I will pay any amount of money to sit front row. That is the ultimate cruiserweight title match that could steal any show. I take back what I said. Yes, now you're NXT versus 205 Live, Drew Gulak versus Kushida, cruiserweight title. And if you looked at NXT, you saw Kushida's like, I don't want to just be the best here in NXT. I want to define myself against the best in 205 Live, NXT UK, This man believes there is no limit for him. And we've already seen what he's capable of against Drew Gulak twice, but that was the old Drew Gulak. This is the new one. I want to see that cruiserweight title match. I officially say it. There it is. I want to see Kushida versus Drew Gulak as a cruiserweight title match on TakeOver. Simple as that. That could potentially be a match of the year candidate, because neither of those two men will break an inch until they break one another's arm or neck. All right. Well, that was a great epic way to close this. And next week marks episode 25, so I hope to have the full 205 crew on here. And I'm sure we'll have a great discussion, and we'll look back on maybe some of the best cruiserweight matches of all time. And ladies and gentlemen, just so you are aware, we are currently working on a top 25 of the best cruiserweight matches from the 205 Live brand. Stay tuned for that. And I'm also happy to announce officially, hashtag 205 Live Match Facebook group is now created, where I'm an admin, Chris is an admin, Cindy's an admin. So if you want to talk anything cruiserweight wrestling, 205 Live or beyond, let us know, send us an invite, meet our qualifications for our questions. We'll be happy to add you. But with that, I think we are done here for tonight. So once again, thank you all for tuning in for another wonderful episode of 205 Live Matters, for a better 205 Live and a better outlook at cruiserweight wrestling through WWE. And until the next video, Chris, as always, sir, I can't appreciate you and your family enough for your support in this, and just your friendship and your knowledge of past cruiserweight wrestling. Where can people find you, and what would you like to plug? And shout out to your oldest, by the way.
Well, right now you ain't going to find me anywhere. I'm in Facebook jail, so we're not going to promote that. Anyways, we're not going to stay live. But anyway, so that does happen, people. That is a real thing I've learned now in the last week, and it's funny.
My mom got caught in it.
But anyway, so you can't follow me on Facebook right now. So right this moment, like I said, just support Aftermatch Wrestling. Those guys do great work. Support Colin in the chopping block. He does great work. You want to hear some quick predictions? Listen to his videos. You'll get the quickest, straightforward predictions you'll ever heard in your life.
Indeed.
Support, like I said, support Cindy. Support Good Brother Chris. Good Brother Chris with AEW Nation. Like I said, he's doing great work with that. Support Owen, support James, just support everybody of the NX team. We all work hard. We all take time out of our day to do all this stuff. And like I said, we do it for the love of wrestling. So pretty much we enjoy doing it. We hope y'all enjoy it.
As always, simple as that. And gentlemen and ladies and wrestling fans and new one-comers and ODQ Galaxy and beyond, it's as simple as that. We're just in it for wrestling. Nothing else matters but wrestling. But with that, if you do want to know more about me, just because, I don't know why, because it's not about me, it's about wrestling, know this, I'm just a simple man and a lifelong fan of, if you haven't figured it out by now, it's not sports entertainment, it's wrestling, people.
Mm-hmm.
Wrestling. So if you want to look me up and talk more wrestling, look up my Twitter, nodq.com/Noah, or for those that hate URLs, at nfoster1916, or follow my simple YouTube channel here on YouTube at youtube.com/users/NoahFoster210, where you'll find predictions for pay-per-views, WWE, AEW, Impact, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor, Independent Wrestling, and support independent wrestling, folks, and much more, as well as simple reviews, and of course, this weekly series in full HD, 205 Live Matters, every week, every Friday, as long as 205 Live exists, and even beyond that, if I have to, I'll recreate it, just like Triple H did NXT TakeOver at the end of the beginning. As far as I'm concerned, we're just getting started, folks. Next week marks episode 25, and I want to thank again everybody in advance that believed in my stance, in this forum, and in Cruiserweight Wrestling. You all rock. And to the haters, you all keep this driving forward. So bring it on. I don't care. It's still viewership. But anyway, support NoDQ. That's the reason I got into YouTube. Buy a shirt, nodq.com/shirts. There's a July 4th sale coming up. Go follow somebody in the NoDQ family on all your social media platforms. Follow NoDQ on social media platforms. Go to the official website. Make a friend, make an enemy. Troll virtue if you dare. And of course, your comments and opinions matter. There's comment section on everything. Polls, memes, reviews, comments, sexy female pics. You name it. It's all there, and it's all in the name of wrestling. And also, if you haven't already, check out our AEW Firefresh predictions here from Team NDQ on NoDQ.com. It's going to be an incredible showcase the rest of tomorrow with John Moxley versus Bad Boy Joe Janela in an unsanctioned match. The two will likely kill each other. I can't wait to see it. And as always, I'd like to close. Support your wrestling house for being small, and let's keep growing this incredible, diverse, open-minded wrestling community together. Simple as that. For a better wrestling community and a bigger NoDQ Galaxy. But with that, thank you all again for watching. Appreciate y'all, whether you're haters or believers or newcomers. Go make a friend. Go enjoy life. Enjoy wrestling. Take it easy. Hope you're staying in better cooler temperatures than I am, 92 degrees here in the summer. And until the next video, I hope you all, yeah, I know. I don't know how I'm surviving. That's why my head's so shiny. Shiny, like Tony Storm's title.
Oh, Lord, no.
Yeah, I think that's fine that she calls it that, but I digress. Leave that to NXT UK Tea Party. And be sure to follow them. They're about to do their 50th episode. Congratulations, guys. That respect.
Yeah.
And until the next video, and the next time I talk wrestling, whether it's this gentleman or anybody else or just myself, I hope you all have a good night.
Have a good night, y'all. 205 Live will always matter.
Simple as that. See you for episode 25 next week.